Right, thank you for taking time for watching this video that you're about to watch. Now, I'd love you all to subscribe to my channel. Let's get the subscribers up. But one of my favourite and most loyal subscribers is one of my daughters, who she's just made this for me. Look at that. What does it say?
Subscribe to Colin.
So what do you want the people to do?
To subscribe to my daddy.
Good evening, internet. So it's Wednesday. It is Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. The 3rd of January. And it is just gone 5 to 6. So a late one for me. Don't normally do evening videos. But you know what? I thought to myself, okay, let's starting. The weather. Let's get the weather out of the way. Awful or what? I mean, storm after storm after storm. Today here has been a joke, as I'm sure it has. Looking at the weather patterns, again the top of Europe, you know, Ireland, England, Scotland, don't forget Wales. Absolutely awful weather. You know, we've had strong winds here again. I know the UK's had it. I mean, what is going on? And then, you know, you look at the world. I mean, this is New Year, isn't it nice to start? You know, you think start the year off well, but you've had that the earthquake in Japan. You know, I mean, terrible, absolutely awful. Then you've got them two planes that collided. Not to mention the troubles around the world. Oh, I don't know, but still, enough doom and gloom. So I thought to myself, I'm just going to pop on, just a quick little video, just to say hello, just to let everybody know that I'm still here. Because let's face it, there's nothing really to do out there. I mean, it's crap. Do you know, I can't remember the last time I actually rode the bikes. I'll have to look back on my own videos. It's a joke. So, okay. I went out today, well not went out, I was looking for, because in my last video I was on about doing some work on the Transalp. So I thought, it's been ages, years and years since I've actually replaced a clutch basket or unit. Well, I'm not going to do the basket. I'm actually going to, you know, do the actual plates, the friction and the metal plates. And so I really had no idea of the sort of cost. I mean, it must be 20 years ago since I did a clutch, and you know what, I was quite surprised. I looked, dare I say this, I actually looked, well, I put a search in Google, you know, Transalp XL 600V clutch plates, and so it sort of kicked back loads. And you know what, one that came up was AliExpress. I mean, AliExpress. Now, you know what, I don't mind buying off the Chinese at all. I buy a lot of stuff, you know. The stuff on all three of my bikes that I have bought from AliExpress, and I've bought various other bits and pieces from AliExpress, and I've got to be honest, in all the years I've bought off them, I've had a couple of things go wrong, and it was dealt with swiftly and professionally. I've never had a problem. So, you know, it wasn't. But clutch plates, I'm like, you know, you strip it all down and you replace them, and you think, you know, and you look at the ones on Ali, and it's all there, you know, with all the test figures, you know, the heat and the kilometres it's done and blah, 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 but you think, oh, I don't know. Anyway, I found a local company here in France, and I can get a set of friction plates and metal plates for the Transalp for the price of, and I was so impressed, €39 plus with the postage, so €39, and with a 5-year guarantee. Now, to my way of thinking, that's a good deal. I don't think I would beat that. Now, I've got to be honest, It's a brand name, I've never heard of it. You know, EBC obviously stands, it's probably one of the better known ones. But at the end of the day, you know, I mean, it's back down to, you know, it's like quad locks and the ones that I've got on my bikes, which again, ones on all 3 of my bikes are from AliExpress. You know, it does the same job. I've got 3 of them, they've never let me down. Anyway, so I've decided I'm going to go with that clutch, which of course then, you know, when you work this out, €37 or 34, whichever one it was, plus the gasket, and I'm going to do the small thrust bearing. The whole thing to do the clutch on the Transalp is going to cost me probably no more than €60. You know, I think that is an absolute bargain. I really do. So, one good bit of news. Now, when it comes to let me tell you something else. Let me turn you around a minute. You see this? My trusted, lovely bike lift, which is that there. Now, do you know what? On the front, right, these wheels here, these are turning casters, right? You can't see me now, can you? Right, so on the front, on that side, the wheels swivel. But on the back wheels, they're fixed, right? Now, so if you've got a huge garage where you can hold on to the front bit there, that will swing backwards and forwards and you can manoeuvre this around. But this garage, well, you know, it is a fair size garage, but I'm just going to put you back here while I'm talking. It is a fair size garage, but the thing is, if you're manoeuvring it round, there's a lot of manoeuvring that could have been painful. There's a lot of manoeuvring to get that to where you actually want it to go. So I thought to myself, for movement purposes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of timber that's going to go straight under the back. And I got these. Look at these. I tell you what, again, I love a bargain. I got these. Right, they're both the same. So, right, these are a castor wheel set, 4 pieces, right? They're only low because, you know, by the time it's got on the wood and gone under. Now, they will hold 30 kilogram per wheel, right? Now, the good thing is with these, in this set, you get 2 swivels and 2 fixed. Now, I don't want the fixed, but I do want the two swivels. But I actually want more than 2 swivels, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of timber, yeah, about that wide, 1, 2, 3, 4. So slide it under. I can move this then because I'll have swivel wheels back and front and get it where it is. Good idea? Do you think that's a good idea? I think it's a great idea. Now, obviously, I thought to myself, when I'm buying 2 sets, so, you know, but you know what? These were €1.85 per set. €1.85 for 4 of these, right? So I'm going to have 4 wheels on at 30 kilo wheels, so that will give me 120 kilo for the back. Well, you know, this whole thing, right, it's so no problem there. So yeah, what a bargain, eh? What an absolute bargain. So there's a little job for tomorrow. Right, there's another thing we've talked about. I like talking. It's good to talk. Now, this applies to just us in France, us, the residents of France. Now, I've lived in this country for, well, this is my 19th year now. I've lived there. And there's never been an MOT for a bike, or in this country it's called a cter, yeah, a technical control, a cter. And there's never been one for a motorcycle or scooter or moped of any description in this country, which I find strange. I really do. I find it to open everything up to abuse, because there's always somebody who will abuse the system. And you would like to think that a responsible motorcycle owner would maintain his motorcycle or her motorcycle to be in absolutely tip-top condition, because we all know it's it's got to be right. It's our life, so you do. So now, from now, the French government have introduced a MOT CT for motorcycles for 49cc and above. So now the French, they don't like changes, right? they don't like changes, and the Federation of French Motorcyclists, or whatever they call themselves, we've had protests and God knows what else, and so you've got to look at two sides here. Yes, okay, is it taking away their freedom or my freedom, because I'm as good as, this is my home country now? I don't know. Is it not? I'm not sure. The trouble is, right, I'll put any one of my bikes in for a CT MOT tomorrow with no problems at all. Absolutely no worries whatsoever. And I would guarantee that they'll pass. And the thing is, from what we can gather, I mean, I've read through it all, yeah, and well, I won't say all, because it's all in French, so I have to translate. Well, why wouldn't it be in French? I live in France, for Christ's sake, and my French is terrible, so I rely on my best mate Google, who does an excellent job, but sometimes not so good. So I've done a load of translating. Now, from what I can work out, if your motorcycle was made before 2017, you have to have it MOT'd, CT'd this year. Now, it starts in April and you've got till December to get it done. Now, you might think, plenty of time. Now, the trouble is, it's plenty of time if you can find somewhere you can take it and get it done, because this is France. This is typical French. They do these laws without any pre-thought going in it, because in this country, for instance, the car, you take your car for a CT. Now, it has to go to a testing station. Now, these testing stations are exactly what it says. They only test. They do nothing else. They're in no way in conjunction with a garage or mechanics or nothing. The guy who works there, he tests that vehicle. If it fails, it fails. If it passes, it passes. You get the report. It's then your responsibility, if it requires work, to either do it yourself, which I do, or you take it and you book it in to a garage of your choice, and then you take it back. Excellent. The thing is, there's no testing stations for motorcycles. There isn't any. That's it. There's none. So if I want to book, if I think to myself, because let's face it, there's a lot of bikes that's going to need a CT done this year. So, if I think to myself, well, you know what? I'm going to get my Transalp, because my Transalp will have to be done this year. The other two, which are 2023 models, they haven't got to be done yet. They've got 5 years until, 4 years now, until they got to be done. But the Transalp falls in the category and it's got to be done. And then I think next year the scooter, my son's scooter, falls in. But anyway, let's deal with the Transalp. So if I think to myself, okay, I'm going to get it booked in there because, I want to get it done and dusted and everything else. There's nowhere to book it in to. There isn't a place. there isn't. So I can see this going pear-shaped. Anyway, so now if, and it's a big if, they actually get this sorted out and I take it for its CT and it passes, It's for 5 years. No, sorry, it's for 3 years. It'll be every 3 years at the cost of €50, they reckon. That's what the talk is. €50 for 3. I can live with that. That's fine. Me personally, I actually think it's a good idea. I really do. Why shouldn't your vehicles be MOT? I drive a car, you know. My cars are CT'd. My cars are checked, 2 of them. So why shouldn't bikes be? There's nothing wrong with it. Half of these scooters that kids drive around with, it'll sort it out, right? If you're a responsible bike owner, then your bike should conform. Now the trouble is, you see, because France hasn't had any sort of stipulation, any rules saying what you can and what you can't do. People do, you know, they modify the bikes, and that's fine. I ain't got a problem with that. It's your bike. Do what you want with it. Like my Himalayan, I've changed the can on it. Now, so the chances are when that goes for its first CT, I'm going to have to put the original can back on because it's not the original thing. And from what we can gather, reading what they've put out, even things like mirrors and this sort of stuff, if it doesn't comply, the bike's failed. So there's going to be a lot of bikes in this country, if this thing actually gets off the ground, which I reckon it will, sooner or later. It might not be as fast as what they want, but it will. There's going to be a lot of bikes that aren't going to comply. And, you know, and that's what all the fuss is about. A lot of people are saying, well, it's not fair. Well, yeah, I agree. You're probably right. It's probably not fair because it's your motorcycle and you've got your motorcycle how you want it. But at the end of the day, it's simple, isn't it? The law's the law, eh? That's what it boils down to, you know. It's been nice for all these years not having to worry about a CT, but it looks like it's here, gentlemen. And it's as simple as that, innit, you know. You will comply. You don't want to comply? Don't ride your bikes. Plain and simple. Anyway, I'm sure that'll upset a few people. But no, you know, I do feel sorry for a lot of people. But, you know, if it's passed as law, it's passed as law. It's you know, it's like going down the road, isn't it, and getting a speeding ticket and then moaning like hell about it. If you break the law, you're going to get done. So if this law comes in, it's going to make a lot of unhappy bikers. So there you go. Right. So I think that's about it. That's the little chat. I hope you've all had a good festivity time over the Christmas, over the New Year. I'm sure, just like me, if you're in this part of the world, just like me, you are hoping and praying that this rain and wind absolutely just does one, you know, because it's like storm after storm after storm, you know, and they name, I can't keep up with the names. Anyway, it's good to have chatted. Like I said, hope you're all okay. Hope you're all feeling good. In the next couple of 3 days, I am definitely going to change the oil on the Meteor. So there's a video. And I'm also going to check the back brake. If you remember, I stripped the front brake down when I had it. I'm just going to check the back brake. That gets that out of the way. Then I'm going to change the sprocket on the Himalayan. I'm going to do the brakes on that one. And so they're all done. And then it's the Transalp. Then I'm going to put this clutch in the Transalp. Right. So I'm going to see you on the next video, hopefully. If you haven't subscribed to me and you're watching this video, take a minute, have a think, you know what, hey, we'll give this old geezer, just hit that subscribe button. You don't want to watch me again, that's fine, but hey, gets me up there, you know what I mean? Sorted. Right, thanks a lot. I hope you do enjoy bits and pieces that I do. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now.